I was stunned to learn when he dropped as far as he did. But I was expecting him to drop. I don't think any of us saw this coming.
No.
But if you are like a big proprietor of film study and you watch tape religiously, there's a couple people that have told me, yeah, this kid's tape is not great in terms of footwork. It's not. He's all athlete and that's it.
Right.
Which
and he thought that would be enough. That he was an athlete. He thought that would be enough. And
then he got the meetings.
Right.
The pre-draft meetings.
Right. Which none of us were privy to until all this, happened. And then, especially at the Giants.
Yeah.
They traded up in the first round and didn't take Sanders, of course.
Yeah. They took Jackson Dart.
Right.
Who's not bad. Right. Not a bad quarterback at Ole Miss.
He was, we've talked about him before. He was slotted in some drafts into the Seahawks camp.
Yeah.
And, but Brian Dable had some interesting things to say about Shedeur Sanders. And, that they gave him an offensive package to study before their meeting. And he didn't even pay, he didn't study it. He didn't know anything about it. Went in there unprepared. So the Giants were like, we're done with you.
Yeah, it's like, what the, like.
So.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kid, but I don't.
I don't because, like I was, our good buddy from No Credentials Required, I was commenting when they were on the show the other day. And I said that this is the biggest humble pie I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, and we've seen Johnny Manziel drop.
Well, but he didn't drop 78 rounds like this guy did.
Yeah,
and but maybe this is what he needed to be dropped like this.
Yeah.
It cost him a lot of money, of course, but he seemed like he thought he was the king of the earth.
King shit. He thought it was king shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And, he thought he was like a prime rib sandwich.
Ooh.
But then when the NFL execs looked at on it, they found out it was a BLT, but there was no B on it.
Oh, I'm about to say to you, there's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned BLT.
No. I love a BLT. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, but
those,
there's no bacon.
Are out there listening, BLTs are right there. So
yes.
But he was
Agreed.
a BLT without the B.
Oh, that would have been disappointment and a half.
It would. Talk about.
Oof.
It goes beyond disappointment.
You just throw out the sandwich and you're just like,
right.
What the hell? This is just a salad.
So that's exactly what happened here. And it's really sad to me that there are so many people that immediately go to, well, nobody wants a strong black man.
Cam Ward went first overall.
That's right. The first overall pick from the University of Miami.
Who was it? Right? Steven Jackson? Who was it? Steven Jackson that said that?
I think it was Ryan Clark.
No, it was Steven Jackson who said that with his podcast. He was like, yeah, no one wants a strong black man. And then the comments were like, Cam Ward literally went first overall.
Right. And he went to the University of Miami. And I'm pretty sure that the University of Miami players know how to be a little outrageous. Going back to the day of Jimmy Johnson and everything else. So that didn't seem to bother NFL executives.
No. It's all the matter of like, hey, if you think you're hot shit, if you can't play the position, and if you can't be professional, we got a problem. Now, what does help his situation, I'm not kidding, he goes to Cleveland.
Well,
this could very well help him because Deshaun Watson is probably not going to be there much longer.
No, he doesn't need to be there. Period.
No, he doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to be there.
And if you're Cleveland, you got to hope that you have a doctor that maybe you can slip him some golf, times or whatever it is. And so he'll sit there and say, well, he's injured enough where he'll never be able to play again.